Hey Jantans and Jantanites, it's Jason Desmond from the Jantan Collective. Welcome to another edition of What's Up With That, where we question, we learn, and of course, we grow. Please do get in touch with us, okay? We want to hear from you. You can subscribe, like, and comment. You can even click that little bell button and get all the latest notifications. But if there's something that we talked about here that you don't agree with or you do agree with, tell us. We want to hear from you. Or there's something that you feel strongly about, also get in touch, yeah? Now, let's talk about car shows, bike shows, shows for petrol heads, shows for grease monkeys. Internationally, I've watched a lot of them, and yeah, good stuff. Locally, many have tried to do good stuff. Unfortunately, many have failed. What's up with that? Well, we're going to change things up right now. This one man is going to do it right. And finally, the Jantan Collective has a PhD. We have with us today Peter Hugh Davis. He can do it all. Actor, model, MMA fighter. You're a dad. You build cars. What else do you do, man? Come on.
I'm not really sure. I eat sometimes.
You eat, yeah.
I sleep. Pretty good at that.
Right.
And yeah, that's pretty much it. You summed it up.
How you been, man?
I've been good. You've been good?
I'm not bad. I've been busy.
Busy.
Yeah, and we can only be as busy as we can be, right? Nowadays, I'm freaked out about going out anywhere because...
Well, the levels are rising.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm a bit of a germaphobe and everything. Are you cool
Yes.
with going out?
Well, right now, I've kind of become accustomed to going out and... You know, the happy hours have now gone past 12 o'clock to 2 a.m.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of okay with it, but I just feel that sometimes everyone's a little bit too close.
Yeah.
It's too chummy. So, yeah, I'd like to take a little bit of a step back during this sort of pandemic time.
Does the MMA fighter come out whenever people get too close to you and you just beat it? Because I don't know what MMA fighters think about, right? Because I've watched you in the cage, right? And you're a beast.
Well, that's a different me. I put on different hats depending on what I'm doing. So I don't know if you were to slap me right now and I was in a happy mood, I'd probably be like, "Oh, what are you doing?
No,
you fucker, you fucker." You know, I probably wouldn't bother about it.
Right.
But you know, if I were in a fight or in a situation which is getting a bit hairy, then I'd switch personality a little bit.
Did that get you started, or did modeling, or did acting? How did you get started in this?
What,
industry?
fighting, mixed martial arts, or my general industry? I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, I landed on my feet pretty much. I'm not really sure how I ended up here entirely, but there's a long backstory of working in finance and working for corporations in the UK. It wasn't for too many years, it's for a few years, and then the financial crisis happened. I was working for a subsidiary of a company that, the Lehman Brothers.
Yep.
And I got kind of kicked out before the big subprime crash happened. And I'd moved out to Asia, predominantly Malaysia, to experience doing modeling because a friend said I could back in a holiday a few months back.
Right.
And
why Malaysia though?
Well, I'm half Malaysian. I was comfortable being here. I really like the country, so I thought, okay, great. So jump back here and started based. Malaysia being the doorstep to Asia,
right?
Where everyone speaks English and you can't learn a language because everyone speaks to you in English, which is great. But I still can't speak any of the local languages.
Hey, dude, we talk, man. Sometimes you throw in some Malay words and VM words.
Yeah, sometimes, and bits of Cantonese which I picked up from, the missus, etc. So, it just depends. You pick up words, but you don't pick up full sentences.
Right.
That's the difference.
Yeah, but when you first landed here in Malaysia, it was modeling.
Modeling, and I gave it a go. So I gave myself 6 months. I bought a return ticket from the UK. So I started modeling late. I started martial arts late. I start everything late. Right. But right now, for example, I feel young. I don't know. I don't feel old apart from my knees.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're 39 now.
I think so.
But you think so? But
yes.
When you got to Malaysia, it was
26-ish. So 26 is you normally 13. Start Yeah, it's a long time. Like it's well over a decade
Yeah.
now, 13 years.
And do you feel more Malaysian now than anything?
I kind of always did feel a little bit Malaysian.
Who's
but
mom? Dad?
My mum.
Yeah.
My mum is from the land that's spreading the COVID around.
Sabah.
Malaysia right now. Yes,
Right.
so it's
Oh,
great.
nice.
So we're
Okay.
doing
Buli
good
Bakar
job.
Kau. All right,
Yes,
nice. Okay.
good job. Yes, yeah. So my mum is from Jesselton, the water village in Kota Kinabalu.
Right.
And yeah, so met my dad in the UK. Not that you asked, but yes.
Right. Okay, good to know.
Yeah.
Then you spent your childhood in the UK,
Yep.
got finance, came to Malaysia,
Yep.
got into modeling, and then
Thought,
TV hosting?
what
or?
else? You know, working. The thing is, everything was a little bit more segregated back in the day. So you weren't an Instagram model.
Right,
that
right.
didn't exist. I was actually a model, like professional model.
Right,
I
right.
travelled around, not just on my Instagram. Just the
word influencer wasn't even part of
only
life.
influenza.
Right, yeah.
And now, yeah, I guess I'm a bit of an influencer now.
Yeah.
Well, not really
Well,
that
you
good.
are.
Well, you know, I've moved out of doing modeling because now I do stuff as me. So I don't do a photo shoot for shoes or clothes. Peter Davis is an ambassador for Under Armour, for
Right,
example. So yeah, so I do things under my name as opposed to not having a name and being the model for a company.
But the money was pretty.
The money was all right back
Yeah,
then.
not bad, right?
Yeah, no, the fees that we got for modeling back then were not bad. And if you had an international client or you did a Southeast Asia campaign, of which I did many, not Instagram.
The real stuff.
The real stuff. So TV commercials as a talent. Yeah, when you got Southeast Asia money, it was solid. Yeah, but now the fees have gone down because there's so much competition.
Yeah.
And then people are doing things on Instagram. They're like, oh, I can charge less than that. Oh, I can do it for this price.
Yeah.
The market value has dropped.
Yeah.
You don't need models for stuff. People are doing things as themselves, and companies are approaching the people with
Influencers.
names, influencers.
The
That's
KOLs,
it.
right?
Yes, the KOLs. But I mean, that started to happen when I was doing modeling back then, where they'd go and approach actors. As you know, the phrase like it's not Cameron Diaz, it's Charlize Theron.
Yeah.
You know, she does that perfume thing.
Oh yeah.
So
J'adore.
she's J'adore. That would have been a model back in the day.
Yeah.
But now, or then, like
Yeah.
if about 10 years ago, it started to become not a model, but started to become
Celebrity
a personality,
endorsers,
a celebrity endorsement.
Yeah.
So that's when the market sort of changed.
Yeah.
And I was already doing commercials and stuff, and I was enjoying life as a model, but I was also getting older as a model. And I was thinking, well, where can I go with this? And I started doing movies already. That like already had happened.
Right.
But I was like, what can I do to put myself on the map? And also, how old am I now? I think I was like 28, 29.
Wait, 29, you were already
Back
old.
then. No, I mean,
As a model.
Yes, for modeling. But I mean, as a guy, you can keep going. I can still do modeling now and just do more expensive brands,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
is what actually happens.
Yeah.
So I do like Bentley internal videos and stuff now, as opposed to, I don't know, Proton
Okay. Yeah.
Beza, you know,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
is more affordable. So things change as you get older. But at that time, the reason I got back into doing fighting was because I was fighting in the UK, Weekend Warrior.
Also, you already...
Yes, I'd already been training for several years, so about eight years or so. And then I stopped because I was doing modeling and the money maker and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But I thought, okay, let's take a risk. It's a bit boring doing modeling anyway. It's not that boring, actually. It's a good life, good lifestyle. I suggest you do it if you can. Even if the pay's bad now, you should just do it. It's a
But
great
bad
life
isn't
experience.
really bad. I mean, some people
It
wouldn't get that kind
could
of money.
be pretty bad.
Really?
Now I'm like, oh, really? Ooh,
Yeah.
no, sorry. No,
Wow.
I can't.
All right.
It's, yeah.
So you got out of modeling.
Yes, essentially, I'm not doing modeling, but if I go to other countries and do an advertisement over there, it'll be a reasonable advertisement.
And it will be
yes, better
Peter
pay.
Davis. It's not just some...
No, in another country, maybe I'll just do it as an ambiguous
Right,
sort
right,
of
okay.
model.
Right.
Whereas over here, definitely as me. Yes.
All right. But then fighting, wouldn't that worry... Like, we talked about a moneymaker, though.
Yes, but it's risk, reward.
Yeah.
So I weighed up the pros and cons. I ummed and for a month or so, and
Yeah.
then one championship. We're like, okay, look, you got to make a decision. I said, okay, yes, let's do it. I need to see if I've still got what it takes to fight before I get too old. Which now I realise is nonsense because I'm in better shape now than I was when I was 28.
Right.
Easily. Like, I'd easily destroy my younger self with both skill and cardio and strength.
Right.
So, just things change.
Who approached who, though, when you did the one thing?
Oh, my friend, James Goyder from the UK. We were kind of housemates. We both trained in the style of Kung Fu Wujituan.
Right.
And then he moved out to Asia, as I did, one of the only friends of mine that did.
Right.
And he moved to Thailand, good old English boy. And he enjoyed his time in Thailand and started working in the fight game because he is like a fan of martial arts.
Right.
I kind of enjoy doing stuff, but I'm not like a big fan of it.
Okay.
Like if I enjoyed watching football, which I don't.
You don't, yeah.
I
We
just
know that about
watch football.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just wouldn't know about all the individual players.
Yeah.
So right now, I love martial arts. I like, UFC, whatever. I know they had a UFC fight the other day, and I'll enjoy watching it. I don't know all the stats about the people. Yeah. It's like, really, how old? I don't really know. I just, this guy's good. Unless I need to know, I won't really.
It's like me in baseball. I like watching it. I just don't get into the stats of RBIs and who hit what and what.
It's fantastic.
Right.
It's just I'm more of a casual viewer.
Right.
So yeah. So.
But you like fighting. How many years did you do it for?
I would still do it now. I'm still under contract with one championship,
Right.
and I'd love to jump in. Only they don't really know that I want to fight again.
Really?
Or
What?
compete. Just before the MCO, I just did a jiu-jitsu tournament. I had the mental game in the right place
Right.
to compete, 1-to-1, getting in close with someone else who's trying to hurt you. It takes a bit of mental focus, and physically I trained to do jiu-jitsu, grappling. I'd fought like around 5 different people in the day. So it's good. I was mentally ready, and I could have continued that mental sort of mindset
Right.
through into a match. And one championship was going to happen in April. I was about to send an email out. I didn't send the email, so they still don't know that I want to compete.
Right. Okay.
So
So technically, you're still in it. You're still in the
technically,
game.
I'm still in the game. I've got like a little toenail
Right, in
there,
there.
just in the door, just
Right.
stopping it from fully closing.
Okay.
So I'd like to compete, but I don't know who wants to see me compete. I don't know. If
Dude,
people
you're
still
Peter
do.
David. Everyone wants to see you compete.
Well,
man.
I don't know. I don't know. Some people will, some people won't. But these things now are not just about a competition. It's about popularity
Yeah.
as well. So
It's entertainment sport.
Yes, it's an entertainment sport. Even though it's not like WWE, where it is
Yeah.
literal entertainment
Yeah.
for the cameras, people do get properly messed up.
Yeah.
It's still entertainment.
But how do you split your day or split your time between everything that you like?
Sometimes I'm so busy, I really don't know what's happening. Other days, I'm so free that I really don't know what's happening.
Right.
I just go with the flow, and I make adjustments along the way to make the flow go in certain directions. But I do have long conversations with myself, like, what is my direction? How can I grow? And, I come back with answers. But it's progression. It's a career plan. I think I've built a brand out of myself, and I'm still trying to make the brand more secure. Even doing the car show for the Jantan Collective, it's exactly what I want to do. So it makes perfect sense for me to do it. I love cars, I love vehicles, I love cycling, I love driving, I like changing things and making things my own. So it's the perfect avenue for me to continue down. How do I make time? Well,
Do you have like a schedule? Do you have a PA?
Actually, I used to do everything myself, and then I kind of let my manager take over, and I'd still kind of like to do it all myself, to be honest with you. People might call me a control freak. But actually, what it allows me to do by having a manager is just chill out, just focus on what's in front of me. I know I want to drink the water, but I've got to talk to you now, so I'll happily talk to you for however long it takes.
Right.
So it's just, it's what my mind wants to do. I want to go home and do some soldering on some bits of circuit board. It means absolutely nothing, but it's just what I want to do.
Yeah.
But this is actually cool. I'm here doing an interview. It's awesome. Let's do this.
Yeah.
So this is how my mind works.
Okay.
I don't know.
So you just go with the flow, basically.
Totally, yes.
Wow.
And it's less stressful that way. And I just go with it. So today it's like, oh, what am I doing today? I better check my phone. I might have stuck a reminder on there. 3 p.m. Okay, let's go.
Right.
So and let's be slightly late because I am half Malaysian after all.
Yeah. So your mom's Malaysian?
Yes.
Is she like that as well? Go with the flow, or
no? She is very Chinese and beat me with a stick kind of Malaysian.
Right.
And
was she the one that taught you how to fight or something? Like you avoid your mom?
Yes, there was a lot of I learned kung fu and the cloud blocking from the cane that used to hit me until I just broke the cane in half, and she's like, okay, there's enough of that then. I don't need to, I think so that's it. I don't know, for fighting, I was with my friends who like to do cycling. Cycling's always been a passion of mine since I was young. Since 10 years old, I've been cycling, to and from school. And then trying to do dirt jumps, and then trying to do trials bike riding, trying to jump up on the table. I don't think I could do that
like
anymore.
a BMX or something?
We used mountain bikes. And then I used to go to the bicycle shop with broken crank arms because they were old school styles and the square tapers, and they always used to circle off, used to break them. And then the bike shop guy was always like, look, I enjoy having you as a customer, but why don't you just get a BMX?
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, but no.
Yeah.
Always stubborn and always doing kind of what I wanted to do. I wasn't that great at doing trials riding. I always did dead sailors when I was doing dirt jumping. I was never very good at it, but I enjoyed doing it. But now if I do it, my mind is more mentally relaxed. So now I'm able to do what I should have been able to do 20 years ago.
Right.
Quite easily.
You say that a lot,
bizarre.
Like, everything now, you're so much better at whatever you wanted to do now.
It's just, I don't really think that mentally I was very mature. That's it. So even when I was doing modeling, I was kind of mature. Like I kind of knew how things should be, but I was just, it's just fun.
Right.
If I were to go back and do it again, there are lots of wasted opportunities that I take advantage of now.
Yeah.
But I guess that's what being young is.
Right.
So yeah.
So are you more like your mom or your dad? I asked only because
definitely a mix.
Yeah?
Definitely
Who's
a mix.
the bigger influence? Who's the ultimate influence in your life? Who taught you to be a jantan, basically?
I don't know. I think just me and my friends.
Really?
Yeah. And then the influences that they had, and growing up in England, and then doing modeling and seeing godlike human beings has also helped me to...
Like who?
Just the models.
Right.
The other thing, you're like, whoa. You're like, wow, look at that guy. Wow.
Right.
Am I allowed to share the same stage as this guy? And then, wow, he's gone to university and he's qualified and he's got all these degrees and things. And like, wow. And he's like, just looks godlike, and wow. But you have to also learn to be confident with what you have, and remember that, people all want different things.
Yeah.
But if you fit in the box for doing modeling, but you look different to the other guy, it doesn't mean you have to be that guy. You have to be you. So just be confident with what you've got and make it work.
So you basically picked up everything that you want from everywhere.
All my different experiences, movie acting, TV commercial, talent, modeling, runway shows, doing martial arts, sparring with the best guys in whichever different martial arts are best. There are so many different things just in mixed martial arts, as the name suggests, that you learn from that. You get very humbled from that. Modeling is great. I was lucky enough to be able to do catalog photo shoots, TV commercial video shoots, runway shows, editorials. I'm just lucky enough to be able to do everything. That's why I'm totally a jack of all trades.
Yeah.
But it's just, I think the acting thing kind of helps to give me confidence as well. I'm here talking to you as me, but it's kind of, I'm thinking about what I'm saying next, so I'm not fluffing all of my dialogue up.
Really?
I think I am.
Are you stressed?
Automatically. I know I'm not stressed at all.
Right.
And then what I'm doing is I'm playing a character. It's probably not even me here right now. This is just a character that does interviews.
Right.
So this guy is able to talk to you quite confidently because the real Peter Davis, especially like the 20-year-old Peter Davis, is not this guy.
Right. Is he slacking off playing video games?
No, he's very shy. Very shy. He wouldn't be able to deal with anyone around. He wouldn't be comfortable in front of the camera.
Peter Davis, the 20-year-old, was a shy kid.
Very shy. Right. Yeah, very shy. A complete idiot clown, which I still am now. So there are still remnants of me there.
I couldn't have been that, but I mean, you got into finance, dude.
Yeah, no, but you know, it's different. So that was like what I did at college, which I dropped out of as well. But worked in finance, good at the job interviews, good at talking to people, but not confident, very nerdy, and didn't know how to dress. Yeah, or just different.
So everywhere you went,
evolution.
Like to be an actor, to be a fighter, or to be anything. Like if I said maybe because you picked up something you watched.
Yeah.
So to be an actor, is there like a favorite actor that you pick out or something?
No, I don't really look up to.
So there's no James Dean or.
No, I mean, okay, Edward Norton. Okay,
yeah?
Let's just talk about Fight Club.
Yeah.
You know, I enjoy watching Fight Club. I like Brad Pitt and his character. But I watch him and then I watch the director's commentary and it's like, oh, you know, he's just doing his own things and just making stuff, ad-libbing. So I can do that. He wasn't particularly amazing at doing it. But it worked. But Edward Norton, as far as acting goes, is amazing. And I just like the fact he can change depending on his roles. Okay, let's just take that film, for example. I love that.
Fight Club?
Yeah, Fight Club.
Right.
But I don't know. I haven't watched it for a few years. I don't know if it still holds up. But yeah, I could watch that loads of times.
Okay.
Yeah, that was good.
I'm fascinated that because sometimes when you ask people who's your hero, especially fighters or whatever, Muhammad Ali or Mike Tyson or something, right? This guy, he molded me. My mind is like this because of this particular person. And there's no one person.
Okay,
right?
if you take one moment of time and you run with it. Okay, let's just say Cocktail. I want to be like Tom Cruise. He would look so good. And then, okay, you run with it and it's great. There's everything. And your whole life is built around that moment. 20 years later, you watch Cocktail. You're like, what the shit is that? Oh my God.
Horrible,
I was trying to be that.
So,
I mean, it's not like I was thinking like that to begin with, but I realize now that, okay, take it for what it is. It's like if you go out on a date or you find a holiday romance, it's amazing, blah, blah, blah. Or you go out with this girl and, she's so hot, so beautiful. And the whole moment's like perfect and everything's really, really good. But then you look at a picture like the next day and you're like, oh, what the fuck is that? So your mind will play tricks on you. Let it play tricks on you. Enjoy those moments and let those moments build you. Don't try and just move on to the next. What's next? There's always something next.
Right.
I remember listening to radio. I listened to a lot of Radio 1 growing up. And it's like, when's your next track coming out? And then the artist, I just put this one out. It's taken me 3 months to drop this track. Why are you asking me about my next track? Can we just, focus on this track? That's the thing. Even now, it's like, when's your next fight? It's like, do you know how hard it is to get ready for one freaking bout for your entertainment? You have no idea of the amount of food that I don't eat for those 2 months. It's horrible. But then, when I do fighting, I'm a professional mixed martial artist, so I go and I do what I need to do.
So focus on the now.
Yeah, focus on the now. Yeah, I've got to worry about what's happening now. There's a pandemic now. I can't be this fabulous actor and stuff. It's like, it's such different. So okay, there's a pandemic. Okay, just wear a face mask, shut the f*** up, and adhere to the social distance and just do what you need to do. Yeah, just do what you're doing.
Yeah.
But I see all my friends in America. I even see some English people in America, and I'm like, what are you talking about, all these things? Face masks are this and face. I'm like, yeah, okay, it's not ideal, it's not great, but come on, it's proven that it doesn't stop spreading. Bullshit. If someone's spitting on you and then you got a face mask stopping the spit, it's clearly stopping something. It's like,
it works.
Of course it works. Are you stupid? Okay, if you're in your car by yourself, I was like, actually it's pointless, and I stopped wearing a face mask in the car by myself, quite sharpish. But at the same time, if if this, pandemic, if this coronavirus got attached to your hands, and then you put your hands on the steering wheel, and then the air conditioning's blowing that coronavirus to your face, and you're not wearing a face mask, you will catch it. But
you can't be paranoid.
Forget it. I'm probably not going to fucking die.
Now, I remember you telling me that you were fighting way before you even started getting into the cage here in Malaysia.
Yeah.
Were you into street fighting? Did you get into a lot of fights back in the UK?
Yeah, mate. No, that's what I'm all about, isn't it? I'm, football factory kind of streaky piece of piss,
Right.
shouting at people, fucking them up in the pub, that kind of thing. No, I'm just a nice guy.
Because you said, 22, you were shy.
Yeah, and I was shy, and I wouldn't get into trouble. I'd be like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that."
Yeah.
But I did martial arts because my friends were looking to get into some kind of fitness thing. They ended up doing running and the gym, but we tried martial arts to start with, and I just saw it as something really, really cool. And I watched a lot of like BBC Two late night, Channel 4 late night, and I watched a lot of Jackie Chan stuff and Chinese kung fu movies, and I liked it, but I didn't put the two and two together. I like computer games, like all the fighting games. I still didn't put anything together. And then suddenly I was like, oh, I'm at a martial arts place. I could do martial arts. And I went and joined in, and I just didn't stop. And then the reason I got into actual fighting was because my Sifu, who's Malaysian Chinese, teaching in England, moved back out to Malaysia. And I was left there with a couple of other senior students after 2+ years. And then we took over the class. So we were teaching other people. And we're like, oh, shit.
How advanced were you at that point that you could teach a class?
2 years in.
Right.
We knew what we were doing, but we're like, okay, maybe we should do some competitions to see if what we'd learnt works, so I need to find out if what I'm teaching to these people actually works. Is it pragmatic, or am I just talking shit? Because I don't want to be the guy that just talks shit. So we went, did some competitions. I won a title belt, blah blah blah. It worked. So okay, great. And then doing finance as well at the same time. The job moved out to Asia.
Did people like, hey, Sifu, or because you were the Sifu at that point already?
Sifu's, we're in England.
Right, yeah.
It's not a word.
Did kids come up to you and like just challenge you because you won a title belt?
Yes, and I was good. You got respect from the fighters in the UK. It was quite nice. It was a small promotion, but it was still winning the belt in that promotion. It was very cool. So you had a few people from different classes coming and challenging us. Yes, but nothing like the challenges were in Malaysia. In Malaysia, it was like different taekwondo classes and kung fu classes. They were challenging each other.
Right.
It was like pretty.
Wait, what do you mean?
Rival turf. Like you go round to a taekwondo class.
Yeah.
And you go challenge them, or they challenge you. Like back in the day, dojos over here. In England, it was kind of like
chill.
Yeah, pretty chill.
Right.
But we did take the piss out of the White Crane kung fu guys because they sucked balls.
Really?
Pretty much.
But here they challenge each other. You saw that when you came over, and
we heard stories about it, and yes, even when I was teaching at Muay Fit back in the day, I used to get challenged by students that were coming in because they were pretty good at doing different things. But my level was good enough to keep me on top, so it's okay.
So it's like those Ip Man kind of things where people come over and then...
So I physically experienced that over here, but in England, we just took the piss out of other styles because they're crap.
Right. So did you enjoy it more here or there? What's the difference?
Well, it's different. It was a complete advancement over here, and I'm in Asia, the birthplace of these martial arts and things like kung fu. So it really made a difference. Oh, okay, this is cool. So yeah, it was just cool out here, and it was good that I managed to keep the competition at bay. So
you mentioned that you liked watching all those Jackie Chan movies and Bruce Lee. Yeah.
Bruce Lee stuff. There weren't that many Bruce Lee films on play, but yeah, Jackie Chan stuff. The stunt stuff was cool, and then not to say I support piracy, but I do have a collection of video CDs in the UK, which
Wow.
Yeah.
Video CDs.
And
those things don't even exist anymore, though.
you know, exactly. And again, the British border control was pretty slack. The amount of DVDs I brought back.
Right. Serious?
Yeah, I've got a whole host of DVDs in video CD quality at home. Yeah.
Right.
So yeah, no, I used to, well, because I used to go to East Malaysia, used to head down to Miri, and we were like, wow, DVDs, because DVDs in England were really expensive, like £12.
Yeah.
£20, and then I'm like, what is this?
Yeah.
£2? Okay, right, okay, very cheap. So I used to get all the cool films that you couldn't get,
right?
Like Asian films especially.
Did you get all like the fight stuff, or?
Yeah, a lot of just cool stuff that was cool to me. Again, don't support piracy, but it is what it is.
Gold or purple disc. My God, those
gold or purple disc. What is the difference?
Right.
It's like, so you know.
So, is there one particular fight scene in all the stuff, even in your old DVD days, that you watch and like, wow, that was a proper good fight scene?
It would be Hyrule Azrin's Wiro, the fight with the Indonesian guy at the end. I really enjoyed that. Very cleverly put together, nice camera angles.
The Indonesian guy that was in
John
the
Wick,
Raid and John Wick. And,
yes. Really nice. So I'd recommend that. The cinematography is very nice.
Yeah.
Choreography is good. And really works well. So yeah, I mean, I don't have any like, oh, you should check out this movie for all of these things. It's good, but I can't remember any particular fights.
But that one sticks out for you.
Yeah, apart from the J Revolution where I get killed.
Right.
That's great.
Mixed martial arts. What's your thing? What do you like to do most? I mean, like
punching people in the face.
Yeah. What's your discipline? What?
Sometimes elbowing them.
Yeah.
I'm a kung fu practitioner, so.
But if you did fully kung fu, that wouldn't work.
It would do, but I mean, it's something like Bruce Lee's Jeet Kune Do, which was an evolution of Wing Chun.
Yeah.
And then if Bruce Lee was still around today, Jeet Kune Do would be evolved yet again.
Yeah.
So my style of kung fu is not a normal kung fu. It's, do you do white crane kung fu? No, of course I don't do white crane bloody kung fu.
Yeah.
So my style is a freestyle street fighting style.
Okay.
That's it, really. So we just throw hooks.
So don't do the drunken master.
No, although that would work a little bit.
Right, because
but
you get the drink.
It'd be confusing until people learn to read your patterns.
Right.
But that's the whole point of being drunk, though. People wouldn't be able to read your patterns.
Yeah, because you don't know what it is, right? How different is it fighting in a ring? Because there's boxing rings and everything, and also in the cage.
Well, you know, if you're in a cage, one championship now calls that the circle, and a ring, which is the square with the ropes, is still a ring. The thing is, old original style boxing rings are not meant to have two people flying at it, and you'll fall out of it. That's what happens. Yes, and it's a bit dangerous,
right?
Because you end up going on the commentary table and being on the judges' table where you can change the marks, etc. So, but at the same time, being in a circle, the cage thing, means you can do other techniques like wall work. You can use the cage or the fence to your advantage. You can pressure your opponent up against it. If you both go flying into it from a takedown attempt, you will get stuck there and then move on to the next part of what your game plan is, pretty much. So it's much better in a cage. I prefer it. It's what makes MMA, you know. It's got the razzmatazz.
Do you ever get like just right before getting in onto the ring in the cage? Do you ever get nervous? Do you get more amped up?
Oh no, it's nervous. There's a lot of mental stuff going on. But yeah, it's just like, just go. Let's go there, beat this guy up. Just go there, beat this guy up. Okay, let's go. That's all you can think about. Just go. Wake up and go. So yeah, that's all you want to do is get it finished as soon as possible, whatever it takes. Obeying the rules and giving as much respect to your opponent as they deserve. It's pretty hard, and then also being from my background as well, I'm trying to make sure that my sponsors, the banner's up nice and neat. I'm trying to do this, and that lack of focus has cost me.
The influencer comes out, the KOL comes out. I want to kick this guy's ass, but hold on.
But I need to do this. Yes, I need to make sure that everyone can see whatever they need to see. So yeah, that's put me off a little bit before, losing focus, which isn't good. So
And when you lose focus, how bad does it get?
Broken skull kind of lose focus.
Have you?
Yeah. So right
Was that
now,
the worst injury you've ever had?
definitely in pretty much anything at all.
Yeah.
So 8 screws, 2 metal plates, can't feel half my face. Still can't feel half my face properly.
Serious?
Yeah. So then
What do
after
you mean you can't feel your face? Like what?
the nerves got broken. I can feel that right now, but it doesn't feel right. Even
Can you bite? Can you chew? Can you swallow?
yeah, I can bite, I can chew, but half my face is like the muscles don't work as well as they do. So
Right.
I've had to overcompensate. I've had to work with it. Of course, I didn't go to therapy. Of course, no, I did it myself.
I was just about to ask
I just
that.
did it myself. So
Yeah.
I was just working it out, making it work. So I had to smile more on this side of my face to cover.
I see. All right, cool.
So because this one, the muscles don't have to work as hard as this side does to make it work.
So after like going out to an event or something, you're like, damn, I'm exhausted. Right?
Yeah, but no, it's become natural now. So I've worked it into who I am. So yeah, I was old enough to realize that okay, the damage is going to happen at some point if you're doing this crazy stuff. Okay, deal with it, move on.
What was your first worry though like, when that happened? Do you even remember it? Like what happened?
Well, I remember the switch getting the plug getting pulled.
Right.
And just not remembering what had happened and waking up and the guy's like, what's your name? I'm like, I couldn't really remember. Where are you? Oh, I'm at Stadium Nagara. What's the date? And I remember the date of the whole tournament. I couldn't remember my name. All right, at least I don't think I could. But then I remember everything settling. So about 10 minutes later, I'm like, I can't feel half of my face. Exactly one half of my face, 0.
Right.
I was like, oh, this is pretty fucking bad.
And did you feel like it must be my brain, in my skull? What?
No, because then I started talking about some random stuff. My opponent was from Australia. I was like, I used to go to Mogul State Primary School. It came out as kookaburras and some kookaburra stuff. I couldn't talk properly.
Right.
My brain was not functioning at all because I just got hit really hard several times.
Yeah.
It's like getting hit by a truck. So
Straight to the hospital after that? And then
pretty much. I don't really remember much of getting there. And then I remember being in the hospital and there were actually 4, we took a whole ward, 4 fighters from that night.
Right.
All messed up.
Right.
It was like one of the worst beatings that all of
Where
us.
was that? Was it here?
That was here, yeah.
Right. Stadium Nagara, right?
Yeah, I think Stadium Nagara or Axiata Arena.
Right.
So yeah, all 4 of us, like some of us had broken hands, fractured faces, but yeah, I'm just lucky that the brain damage was not permanent.
Yeah.
It was a very temporary thing, but yeah, it was bad. So I was experiencing brain damage at that moment because I just couldn't think straight at all.
At that point, at any point in time, did you go, shit, I've got to host this show, God knows when, or I've got an acting gig coming up?
Well, I've had fights, and the next day I've done catwalks.
Don't you like...
I've taken a few leg kicks, and I've done catwalks the next day. And it hurts. Sure, there's a bit of a bruise, but I'm like, fuck, it's a catwalk. It's not that fucking difficult, is it?
But I've seen how fighters get. I mean, like, your face gets all...
There is
bruised up.
makeup, as long as it's not a physical bump. It's just like a black eye. You can cover that stuff with concealer. Man, the fuck up.
Yeah. No, but dude, you've gotten, like, your eardrums, like... popped.
Yeah, I mean, the broken skull was worse. The eardrums have happened on several different fights. Yeah, elbows to the head. And then you kind of wonder what's happening because you can't stand properly, lose balance. So I had a fight after the broken skull thing, and I got back into it, and I can still feel the plates.
How long after that?
I think it's a couple of years. So I've after a couple of years hiatus, or a year and a half, I got back to it, and I was a bit worried because I know if I take a punch, I could probably feel the plates.
Yeah.
Because although I can't feel that side of the face properly, I can still feel those plates, which are still there. And I was worried about all that sort of stuff. I was like, fuck it, just go.
Yeah.
Went in, had the fight, and then my eardrum went, and I was like, I don't know what this feeling is. Is it the plates? So you're trying to work all this out on the go whilst you're in a cage, and someone's trying to beat you up or kill you, essentially. And then, you're like, oh, okay, what's up? And I was like, oh, trying to stand up. Oh, super my book. Like, so drunk at this point.
Right.
Half a bottle of whiskey with no food.
Right.
That's
that
the kind I'm like,
right?
oh, fuck. And I'm throwing kicks and I'm doing stuff. Jesus, yeah, it was hard.
Do you hear the crowd at that point?
You hear the crowd, and then sometimes you
Does it
play
help?
to the crowd. sometimes it doesn't help. No, they're like, "Oh, go, go, go!" I'm like, "I want to go, but I've got no energy left.
I can't feel my legs.
I can't feel my leg. I can't stand up.
Right.
I can't even stand up." It's pretty tricky. So, end of the first round of that match, after my eardrums are already gone, the referee steps in and stops it, and I think, "Oh, it's over. I lost." Balls. No worries. Okay, move on. Yeah. But apparently the bell went like 2 seconds before he waved it.
All right.
So, okay, second round. All right, fine, let's go second round.
With your eardrums.
Yeah, and by then my balance had kind of readjusted a bit more, but I was exhausted.
Right.
I was running at 110%, and there was no battery left.
Right.
So I was like... So, I managed to get through most of that round and got to a point where I thought, oh, I'll just run away. There's a video on my Instagram if you want. Thank you for watching it 11,000 times, and you only watch 1,000 times of something. Well, thank you guys. Right. And then, so get switched off, go to the ground. I put my hands up. They've got 4-ounce gloves, so they take a bit of the impact out. And the guy's punching me with his 4-ounce gloves in my gloves. So actually, I'm okay. Referee's like, Are you okay? Are you okay? So I'm fine. I'm good. I'm just about to get off, and he calls the fight.
Oh, damn. Right.
But I mean, I'm like I'm maximum. There's nothing left.
Right.
But I still reckon I could have got.
Yeah.
I still reckon I could have got it.
With your wobbly legs. And
because the other guy had gassed himself out by that point.
Yeah.
Because I did beat him up as well.
Right.
I'm not going to lie to you. I beat him up. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, and he knows. He's a nice guy.
How's the ear though?
They give it 4 or 5 weeks. Eardrums heal up.
It heals up. Really?
Yeah, they the membrane just goes.
Oh fuck.
So yeah, it's good. And I realised that I really like my hearing. I really like my sense of taste. I enjoy food, and I do like to smell.
Yeah.
And I do like to see. I like all these things, but I do have a billion floaters in my. I've got like a permanent Instagram filter going on in my eye, and it's just like I feel bad. Like for the UFC, it's like Daniel Cormier, got blinded in his last fight. Eye poke last couple of rounds. I mean, in the whole career, your last couple of rounds, what the fuck?
Yeah.
It sucks not being able to see out of one eye. Would mess you up in doing so many things, but he's like, it is what it is. Which is true, he's mature enough to take that on the chin, but hopefully he can get things reattached or whatever.
But I would prefer to look out through both eyes.
Yeah, exactly.
Hear through both ears.
When's your next fight?
Right.
Oh, for fuck's sake, guys, come on, it's kind of dangerous. It's not WWE. Yeah, so, it's risky, but it's worth it. But it's risky. So you need to weigh up the pros and cons. Yeah. I enjoy it. But.
Actually, on that, don't beat me up on this. When's your next fight?
Okay, I'm going to do some more Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu matchups first. I'm going to get back into the mindset. And I'm ready to go. But this COVID thing is...
But you said you're like, oh, shit, got to eat all this healthy food and stuff, though.
But now I'm vegetarian. If I eat healthy food, pescatarian, vegetarian, that happened like three years ago because my mum said, "Oh, I'm eating less meat." And I was like, "Okay, well, I'm just going to go completely vegetarian." 3 months later,
Sabahan is a vegetarian now. Your mom?
Yeah, well, she just eats less meat. And I've just been trying to get my dad to eat less meat as well because the English diet, but he just eats processed shit all the time.
Right.
So yeah, he doesn't even drink water. It's terrible. My dad,
right.
Dad, come on.
Yeah.
Because you'll be watching this on YouTube anyway. Because my mum, yeah.
Right.
Hello, Mum. You'll watch it. Dad won't watch.
Your mum cooks for him.
Dad is terrible.
Right.
Yeah. No, my dad cooks just.
Right.
I could say whatever I like about my dad. He's not going to watch it. Yeah. Anyway, so after 3 months of going completely vegetarian, or even trying vegan stuff, I was like, right, I can't take this meat, so just overate the meat like I do when I'm doing weight cuts. I don't eat anything for like months, and after that, I just eat whatever I want. And I gain like 4 kg of like fat just because I'm not hungry. I'm just going to eat it. So you don't want that? I'll just eat that because I've not been able to eat for a few months.
Devour everything.
So what about? Let's try it.
Right.
Yeah, why not? So the same thing happened when I went vegetarian, cold turkey, so to speak. You just become a monster and decide to eat everything you.
But can you fight though? I mean, as a vegetarian.
Yes.
Did you watch Netflix Game Changer?
Again, it's something I should watch, but I'm not a fanboy.
Yeah,
I don't really care.
I watch a little bit of that, and I'm like, wow, I don't know. Because don't you need a little meat in your
No,
system?
you don't. You don't.
Not at all?
You don't need the meat. And everyone's like, oh, where'd you get your energy from? Like, you get the energy from carbohydrates. The meat is for, like, just muscle repair. You don't need it. Oh, iron. You can have vegetables. And after a while, the body balances out. And it's okay. You don't...
How long do you need to train? Eat well, train and everything before you get...
For a matchup,
For a match.
if you're not in a good weight, 2 months is fine.
Oh, really?
Yeah, two months is fine. I remember watching or playing Tekken, and Forrest Law was on a couch eating cakes and donuts. He was a fat bugger. And then he got the Tekken notice through, and it took him 1 month to get in shape. Obviously, he's a computer game character, so it doesn't take him any time at all. But literally a month is all you'd really need. But you'd have to kill yourself every day. So to give yourself a little bit of leeway, 2 months would be a good idea. Jeez. So yeah, but
are you looking forward to it? Like getting back? Because you say you have a little bit of
the thing is,
toenail in the door.
Yeah, I've got a little bit of toenail in the door. Let me see. I might do some more jiu-jitsu tournaments first, so I get the mental game of competing physically with someone else.
Yeah.
And then, let's see what happens. I mean, I'm not rushing at it, but I was definitely thinking in April, okay, let's do this. But things have changed. Yeah. Circumstances change. Go with the flow. If it doesn't feel right, don't do it.
Yeah.
You know?
Now, let's talk about your hobbies, man. What do you like to do? I know for a fact that you like to tinker with stuff.
Yeah.
But we're talking about some of my OPS stuff, and then you're like, hey, give it to me. And
I got issues. Like, oh, you got something electronic that's broken. Let me try and fix it.
What do you do with it?
I don't know. I just...
Like you open it up?
I open it up. It's like I've got a CG125 that I've had for a long time. We got it off a movie. It was wrecked. I fixed it. And I did a good job of it back then. I passed it to my friend, and he just let it run out of tax for a couple of years. Anyway, I took it back, and now my skills are upgraded. I fixed it again, better than it was when I fixed it last time. It's
when you say fix, what do you do? Like soldering?
Change this, do the fork oil, take the forks apart, take the headset, race off, grease the bearings, put it back together.
What?
Make sure there's no thing. Take off the front wheel, paint the front wheel, sort the hub out.
What a full shebang, though.
Yeah, like take the chain off, your chain breaker tool, and okay, the wiring is shit. I can't believe I let this wiring go last time. Okay, so let's read all this wiring. Let's cut those wires out. Okay, do that. Okay, do some wire twists, some soldering with a heat shrink over the top. Okay, sure, that looks good. Okay, make it the right length. Yeah, so all that kind of stuff. So
you like to tinker?
Yeah, really. And then I've done it, and okay, that's great. What's next? I just put the bike aside, and now the tax is running out. Who wants to buy a CG125?
Oh, is that how it works?
Yeah.
So
I did. It's just Sajala. I'd done already. I'm like, oh, now what?
You don't use it?
Yeah, I would use it, but I'm like, I don't really have time. I've got like 5 cars.
Like if you were just walking around Juras, and then you found a Nissan Fairlady in pretty bad condition.
Yeah. Oh, I'd take that.
Yeah.
And if it wasn't road legal, I'd turn that into a drift car because it's a fantastic chassis.
Yeah. That's another thing that you're into. You like drifting.
Yes, I like drifting, playing around with my cars. Things like a Fairlady, it's actually a very cheap base price car, but parts are kind of expensive. Whereas my Sephiros, the parts are relatively cheap. They're hundreds, not thousands. So it's quite fun to play with them. So yeah, tinkering with that. So street car, I'll get some assistance with this, but I can take the whole top of the cam cover off the engine, loosen up the timing chain.
How you have a
take
whole
all the
setup at
bolts
home?
off. I just do it in my car parking lot area,
right.
which is really annoying because if I forget one tool, I've got to go back upstairs, grab it and come down. And my hands are black with oil and. Yeah. Which is why I really want a house. If anyone wants to sponsor me a house in any new areas.
So you like all things to do with engines and cars and stuff.
And recently MCO, you can't really leave the house. So I was just, and I like computer games and Nintendos and stuff. I've got that nostalgic sort of issue with 16-bit games especially. I like 8-bit games, but they're so hard. But yeah, whatever. So still play them anyway. Had a few Nintendo DS's. some of which were broken. And
What do you mean we're broken?
The hinge is broken.
Right, okay.
The top screen's not working on this one, but the bottom screen's working on this one. The buttons don't work so good here on this side, but they work good there. Okay, maybe, so making 2 into 1.
Right.
So making a perfect version out of two units.
Semi-broken.
Yes, and then there's a semi-broken one. I've still got the bottom screen. Okay, so I've got some more units now. Oh, 30 ringgit for that. 40 ringgit for that. So it's kind of fun money to spend. It's not 400, you know? So, okay, so I'll take that unit and then I'll look at what I could do to possibly make this bottom unit. So the top's broken. Okay, take that all off. Okay, use epoxy hardener, smoothen that out, make a new faceplate, change this, do that. Okay, now the wiring. Okay, I'm not very good at soldering. Let's try soldering. Okay, so I've got to take the speakers out of the top screen area, take them out. Okay, desolder those. Desoldering is easy. The on-off switch is broken. I'm going to try and desolder get that switch off. Now I'm going to try and make a new switch. Okay, 60 cents for a new switch from the electronics shop. Yeah. This is just a pet project. It's completely pointless. I could just use another fully working DS for fun and just play games and be happy with it. But I'm just trying to do this, make something out of nothing.
Because you can.
Yeah, because I can. And then I'm practicing the soldering. So solder on a new on-off switch, like the orange switch and the power negative. Okay, so I've got a new on-off switch. Drill that in the front of the face. Sand down the face, epoxy, painted a few layers, and then lacquer that. Got transparent buttons. Spray the back of the buttons for these two buttons because they're the only ones that we use with the fluorescent green. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, solder on the speakers to the positive and the negative for the speakers. Okay, no top screen. Okay, I've got to put a resistor. I need a 300 ohm resistor. I'm going to find the positions on the motherboard. Okay, solder that down there. Solder this one.
How do you know to get all this stuff though?
The internet is a wealth of information there. So I'm just like doing that and just upping my skills and having fun. And then I can teach my kids that if they gave a monkeys, they just rather play the games, which is what I should do as well. But I'm just wasting my time doing this.
But in your mind, you're also picking up new skills, though.
I'm picking up new skills. I'm just relaxing.
Yeah.
I'm at home, especially at MCO, RMCO. Don't go out so much, do that. And then I've got this whole new system I can play these games on. And yeah, with retro games, there are so many games you can play. Yeah. And then it's just nice to, I've got a bunch of different systems and I just hack them all. So yeah,
let's talk about that new show because you love cars, bikes, all things related to combustion engines and even electronic. I mean, the new electric
cars. I mean, I'd enjoy them. I just changed I don't even know. I don't have one, so I don't know what I'd change in it yet. But again, like the DS Lite thing, which I turned into a DS Micro. I enjoy making the stuff. The CG125, I've made it up. I enjoy making it. Will I use it?
Probably not.
Probably not. But the cars I do get to use.
Yeah.
The cars I love driving.
What have you messed around with recently?
Okay, well, I managed to get a new manual gearbox for my fair lady. So I'll be putting that in. So that's a project to come up soon. Recently, I've been changing the rear suspension springs in the back of the LS400 and adjusting the damper settings. So upping the damper ratings and reducing the rear springs from 12K to 10K, which is the suggested spring rate for the HKS Hypermax suspension that's in there right now.
Right. How many cars do you have right now?
I've got five cars. So.
Complete cars, or are you just tinkering?
All running.
Right.
Taxed or track. Yeah.
So the show's the new show that's gonna be on the Jantan Collective. So
will be about me getting sponsorship for my own cars.
Oh, you be racing them? Because I hear you
like
to drift.
Yes, I'll race them.
You like to drift as well, right?
Yeah, I'll drift them too, with your stickers on. Just let me know what logo you want and the placement, and I'll stick it on my car for you. Okay.
Right here on the Jantan Collective. Right. By the way, we're going to put the email address you can actually get in touch with us right there.
That's right. Okay, yeah. So right now, I've got my Prince Lubricants 350Z, which mainly enters car shows, but it'll mess you up on the toge. Yes. Toge, winding road.
Yeah.
It's amazing chassis. 0-1 suspension really helps from Kaki Motor. Yeah.
Are you into car movies? If you're so much into cars.
Again, not a fanboy.
Really?
I really just...
Fast and Furious?
Oh, no, I love Fast and Furious,
Need for Speed.
But the new... I cried when the Paul Walker thing at the end of... I cried. Oh God.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I,
So every time you hear that song, it's been
I turn it off.
Wow.
But yeah, no, it got me for that one beautiful moment, and it will never get me again. That one beautiful moment, it got me. You had me.
So are you a Skyline kind of guy or like American Muscle then?
Definitely Japanese tune stuff. Yeah. But I think it's like being the underdog. It's like my Safiro is the underdog, but that thing is brutal. I don't know, but it needs to be more brutal because cars have evolved in the last 10 years to the point where I need to get a supercar to compete. So yeah, it's things have changed so much, and you've got to continue moving with the times, especially with the technology. I like hot version stuff, so Japanese stuff where they do the Gansai Toge and they do all the Super GT, and I remember them saying things like, okay, we've got to remove the speed limit restriction on our Japanese cars because we're getting overtaken by all the European cars, and it's true. And they did a good thing of removing that limit, and then they made things like the GTR and
European cars are driving the Autobahn.
Yes, they drive on the Autobahn, so you're thinking like AMGs, they're like, I don't know, 500 horsepower.
Yeah.
But they can do whatever, 300 kilometers an hour. And the Japanese cars were limited to 180 kilometers an hour. And it's like, we've got to get rid of this restriction. And the Japanese government must have listened to these guys, because these guys are the pros for Japan.
Yeah.
And Kenshi Tsuchiya, who's like Drift King. And phenomenal. So,
do you want to drive more, or do you want to tinker more though?
I want to experience. I want to do both, because it's good to tinker with your car. And I mean, I got my project cars, and I'd like to compete against other cars and see how they. Just the same thing like my mixed martial arts skills. Do my skills hold up? Yeah. I don't know. I need to find out. Yeah, I need to find out pragmatically. Does this work?
Yeah.
And against a guy that can actually drive, not just a guy that's bought a really nice car.
Right.
Of course, I'm going to beat you.
Yeah. Don't you need to get trained to drive like this? Like,
what for what?
For drifting or something?
Literally, I've been to the school of Gran Turismo, so.
Gran Turismo.
And that's why I don't understand.
Like video games?
The video games. I don't know how people can't do racing lines. I see people driving on the roads. I'm like, how can you be so bad? There are computer games. You can train yourself in computer games, and it teaches you in the game how can you be this shit? So can you please get the fuck out of my way?
Yeah.
Just get off the fucking phone. Don't drive and be on your phone. I've got issues of doing that myself, and I do pull over and program or do voice. Take me to Oasis Damansara, I'm like to my ways.
It takes 2 hours to get.
It's like I don't. I'm sorry, I didn't understand what you said. So then you stop and then you'd enter it. So try and do that. Please don't answer. Don't speak on the phone. I see people. I pass them. I horn at them whilst flipping them the bird. I'm like, dude, and then they look at me and I like point at my finger and try not to crash.
Do you have that at home? Like, do you have a whole setup for?
No, I do that on the roads.
Driving? Don't you want one at home though?
Of course I do. I see my friends on the chin on the sort of simulator. I see Zenlo on the simulator. I see Danku Gen on the simulator. I want a simulator.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys. Anyone who wants to pass
Zen actually have I don't know whether Zen actually has it. But
Zen's got some simulators.
Because I went over to his place and I'm like, damn, it's like he's got everything.
Yeah, he's got a whole bunch of stuff.
I remember during the F1, because during COVID, no one could actually race, right?
Yes.
So the guys on the simulator, on the esports guys had like Hamilton and everyone was race, and then the esports guys were beating the actual racers, right?
Well, to be honest with you, because if you are a Formula One driver, it's not to say that you're going to have fear, but you understand that if you mess that up, you've probably going to go meet death.
Yeah.
Whereas if you're playing esports, if you hit the wall, I'll just restart.
Restart. Right.
Yeah, there's no restart button in real life. So when you go into a game and you've got nothing to lose, but you're good, you should be able to win.
Yeah.
Whereas if you're coming from a real life sort of background where if you hit the wall at 200 kilometers an hour, that's the last wall you're going to hit. You're probably going to break a little bit more, just a smidgen more, so you don't hit that wall.
But there were also some esport drivers who actually No, there were F1 drivers who played a lot of esports, and then they said the esports really helped them.
Oh,
in
totally.
real life.
It's true. Esports stuff is great.
Yeah.
Because you can attack it without worrying about dying.
Yeah.
And then that will help your real life game.
Yeah.
So
Let's just see whether this works. It's like
but esports guys. I mean, I tried before at the place in Mid Valley upstairs.
Yeah.
The
Oh
guys,
yeah, the drift place, the Rift.
the Rift.
The Rift, yeah.
And then they've got the esports simulators up there.
Yeah.
The guys I raced with, they were so fast. I'm
Yeah.
like, wow, how do you get that fast?
Yeah.
Like 10, 15 seconds faster a lap out of the same machine.
Yeah.
I couldn't fathom it.
Yeah.
They're really good drivers though in real life.
Yeah.
Front wheel drive drivers. So rear wheel drive drivers are much more.
Now, let's talk about a new show. We're all very, very excited because, number one, Jantan Collective, we finally have a PhD
Yes.
in you. And the new show is all about everything to do. It's 4 wheels, 2 wheels, 1 wheel, all kinds of wheels, engines.
Wheels, yeah, things with wheels, things that move, things that give you joy to drive, to pilot. Maybe a helicopter or an airplane. I don't know.
Oh, you're good. Okay, even that.
I don't know. Let's see what happens. Drones, even. I don't know. Or let's find out what we can get hold of and
SpaceX
review.
even.
Try it. Yes.
Right.
Answer the questions that you have about certain vehicles that are coming out. Is the Porsche Taycan really all it's lived up to be? Electronic cars, that kind of thing. Can an old car compete with a new car kind of thing? Let's go ask the Sifus what you can do to make your car better. Is it worth spending this amount of money to do this to your car? Is it going to really make a difference? Even audio systems for your car, air suspension for your car. Where do you go to get this done?
Right.
People don't know. Let's tell them.
So the show, what are we
show?
calling it yet? We don't know what it's called.
Sponsor Peter Davis's Rides show.
When is it launching?
As soon as we get our first sponsor for my ride. I've got several cars you can choose from. It depends what you're going for, sort of more transport. I've got this little minivan, Daihatsu Hijet, that's great. You could fully paint it if you want, or maybe do window tinting on it. Engine transplant, if you're that kind of shop. Wheels, I can do wheels for you on that. Retro style, like a Tara racing style, yeah, if you Tara. And then I've got more sporty vehicles. If you want, you can do dyno tuning on my cars, change the ECUs, yeah, all sorts of things. Modified certain bits, fuel rails, fuel pumps, fuel systems, fuel injectors, and then the tuning again. Yeah, I don't know, all sorts of things. I did a new wrap for my Safiro body kit, guys. If you're out there and you want to sponsor Safiros, Nissan Fair Ladies, come at me. Tires. Cars need tires, and they also need fuel. So if you're a fuel company and you fancy helping me do a little tour around Asia, let's say, on in any of my vehicles, you could come at me, and then you could be our first show.
What was the question again? Oh yeah, when is it launching? Soon.
As soon as you come on board, I'll give you a show.
Yeah.
What do you want me to do?
That's the ad right there, man. Oh my god.
I could add in more things. What do you want me to add into my story?
Man, dude, this has been fun.
So,
my god. Cheers, man.
Cheers.
Peter Davis, thanks so much for stopping by, man. That was a great chat. I tell you what, guys, don't forget, subscribe, like, and comment. Also, don't forget to click on that little bell button for all the latest notifications. And we want to hear from you. If there's something that you heard here that you want us to talk more about, you can comment. If there's something that you want us to talk about, we'll get in all the experts. Do comment and tell us. We want to hear from you. And that's the show. My name is Jason Desmond. This has been a Jantan Collective. This is What's Up With That. And as usual, don't be a dick.